Former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke says he is ready to make an announcement on whether he will run for president by the end of the month. The Democrat has gained a lot of following despite narrowly losing his Senate bid to Republican incumbent Ted Cruz last November, and he's now revealing when he'll make a decision about 2020 in a new interview with Oprah.
Yeah. When are you going to know that? Have you given yourself a deadline? I'm serious about that. Have you given yourself a...
And the serious answer is really soon. Is really soon, before the end of this month. Someone's asking for right now, but this is before the end of the month, but there are many other days after this.
Let's get my panel back in here. Jason Johnson, Chris Wilson, and John Weaver. I was at that interview yesterday, Jason, and the majority of people in the room weren't there to see Beto. And Beto got on that stage and spoke, and people kind of woke up and said, hold on a second, who is this guy? Could he be a real contender here?
Not only could he be a real contender, you have many, many Democrats who are extremely excited about him. He raises money better than almost anybody else in the field, which is key. He's young, he's vibrant. But I also think this, he does not, he called it sort of millennial FOMO or whatever. What he doesn't want to do is say, I'm out of this, and then look at this field and see somebody stumble or screw up by October and say, why did I not get into this race? So I think that's probably why he's moved up his timetable. He knows that the time to go in is now, and there's never, look, you're never ready to run for president, but he knows that now is his best time to get in.
Chris, you know Texas politics well. You worked for the Ted Cruz campaign. You were the Republican Party chair in the state of Texas. In his interview with Oprah, Beto did not go bad on President Trump. He didn't really talk bad about anyone. He kept stressing over and over the importance of listening to everyone and governing everyone. Take a listen.
Going to every single county in Texas, all 254, not just the reliably blue places where you'd expect to find a Democrat, going to King County that voted for Donald Trump 96% in the last election, because the people in Guthrie, the county seat, are every bit as deserving of my attention, of being listened to, of being heard, of being fought for, of being served, even if they don't vote for me.
Okay, so beautifully optimistic, but here's the thing. It didn't win.
No, he lost King County by more than Barack Obama did, to illustrate his point. Look, Beto O'Rourke is a unique political talent. He evolved in a way that I would not have expected when he announced. There had never been anyone, still has never been anyone elected in from El Paso, statewide in Texas, but he came closer than anyone else. He came closer than anyone had in 40 years to winning a statewide race.
But close is no cigar. If you're not willing to go dark.
That's right. And I think that's the significant question here, Stephanie. Is he able to raise the same kind of money as a Democrat running against other Democrats as he was as a Democrat running against Ted Cruz? Lots of Democratic donors from New York and California are going to donate to Beto O'Rourke for Senate against Ted Cruz. Are they going to donate to Beto O'Rourke running for president against Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders and lots of other political talents? Having said that, I will never, ever underestimate him as a candidate. And the organization he put together in Texas, 900 field representatives going door to door, building pop-up field offices, was a case study in political science and how to build an organization operation. And if he can translate that into Iowa and New Hampshire, he'll win.
What do you think?
Well, he built that organization overnight, as Chris
alluded.
He really did. And he did have the good fortune of running against Ted Cruz, or Zodiac as we call him. So he had that good fortune. But what's going to happen when he runs against a field of Democrats? I don't know. But there is a market for an aspirational candidate in America. And if he can excite people, much like Barack Obama did, you never know.
I'll get even more specific. It's not just there's a market for an aspirational candidate. Democrats need a white guy. They don't have one yet.
Okay.
I mean, let's just be honest. You're going to have, whenever you're the out party, you are desperately interested in who do we think can beat this guy. The Democrats do not have one white man, and white men are still an important part of the electorate. They don't have one white guy running. And if you're going to get a white guy...
But they could. I mean, you got Sherrod Brown, you got Joe Biden
but these
hanging
guys
in
are
the
not
wings.
nearly as dynamic, they're not as young, they're not as engaging, and they didn't get the kind of national attention that Beto O'Rourke has. This guy checks off a lot of boxes. Now, will he grow and evolve during a campaign? Should he decide to run, I think he will, but he's their best option. Why go? Look, Sherrod Brown used to be my senator. Great guy. Don't know if I think he's dynamic enough. Joe Biden has plenty of issues that may make it difficult for him to get in this race. Nobody wants Bernie Sanders to run. I know my mentions are going to be fire, but it's
okay,
true.
The answer isn't nobody. There are definitely people because the hate coming at you on Twitter right now is crazy. Yeah.
Shut it down.
But I mean, like the Democratic Party, they need somebody like Beto, and I actually think he is in a very good position to jump into this race and raise a lot of money and really shake things up.
Or maybe those tweeters are going to be shouting, "Stop calling him a Democrat. He's not a Democrat." Except I remind you, he ran as a Democrat against Hillary Clinton. I want to play part of Stacey Abrams' response last night.
So, even as I am very disappointed by the president's approach to our problems, I still don't want him to fail. But we need him to tell the truth and to respect his duties and respect the extraordinary diversity that defines America.
Is that an effective enough message for Democrats heading into re-election season?
No, it's not. And frankly, to leave on, if they're going to choose a failed candidate from 2018 to do the State of the Union response, they probably should have gone with Beto O'Rourke. He would have done a far better job at it.
He was busy. He was with Oprah.
You're right, but he probably could have found a camera somewhere in New York. It's I just think if I was a candidate who had run for governor, and there was a lot of good Democrats who ran, talented Democrats who ran for governor and won races, and they had not given me, or at least offered me the opportunity, I'd be a little bit irritated right now about them choosing Stacey Abrams.
Well, I think that's silly because here's a chance to promote somebody who's running, who may run for governor or for senator in Georgia in 2 years. So
she may, but there's lots of people who may run.
Okay, I think you have a best interest.
What about him?
Since your client may be
You work
running
for
against
Kip,
him.
so it's kind of it's slightly different which way.
I think you should probably note that. Right? Probably.
I have on your show before.
Maybe, but like when you're taking a dig at Stacey Abrams, might want to footnote that.
Work for Brian Kemp. But I thought she gave a good response because the threshold is really low, right? Like most of the times, people don't necessarily care for the response if somebody does a bad job. I thought it was very personal. I thought it was very interesting. But the other thing is this: I like the fact that she didn't spend the time banging on the president. She talked about this is what America wants, and I do believe that line. She's not running for president, but the line of "Dude, we wish you would just stop lying so much" is actually a plea that a lot of independents in America want to hear. They're like, "Look, President, I may agree with you."
Excuse me, there's a lot of Republicans who are saying that. There are a lot of Republicans who say, President Trump, I like a lot of the things you've done. Can you do me a favor and stop lying? Republicans who voted for him have said that.
Yeah, so I think she tapped into a fantastic message. It was really sort of moving, and I was surprised because I tend to be cynical about these things. She's put herself in a good position to possibly run in 2020, even though nobody down there seems to know yet.
And more importantly, she's getting great positive coverage in Georgia today, which was their goal.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching. To see more videos, click right here, and subscribe.